Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Kash Creator. So it's been a long day without you, my friend. Okay, I suck at singing, but let's get into the video, shall we? So today I'm gonna be telling you which apps I use for learning Korean. So basically there are 3 apps that I use for learning Korean, but then there are additional YouTube videos as well because the apps aren't actually much enough. I'll be linking the YouTube playlist in the description box below so that you can check it out. But now let's get started with the applications. So as I said before, there are 3 major apps that I use for learning Korean. First one being Duolingo, second KoreanGG, and the third one Teuida. Teuida is a Korean word which refers to opening up or open-hearted, okay, which is Teuida. Okay, so let us first start with Duolingo. So Duolingo is an application which I use for giving much knowledge. Like, you start from very basic with Duolingo. You start with learning the letters first, and then you know how to use the letters, words, syllables, and consonants, verbs, etc. It starts from the very basic and then goes upper high ends. First you start, as I said, first you start with the letters, then you go for grammars and forming sentences, and it's a time consuming application if you want to learn Korean. But then it provides you with tests. You get speaking skills as well, so it is very beneficial, but it doesn't teach you like in a proper format. For example, when I started learning Korean, I started only with Duolingo, and my problem with Duolingo, what I experienced was it didn't make sense to me. Very honest, it didn't make sense to me how to form sentences, or how this word is joined with this word, how is this pronounced. It doesn't give you explanation. Okay, so that is the reason I started watching YouTube videos the second time I started learning Korean. Okay, so Duolingo is for giving tests and all, from starting from very basic, as well as alongside, if you are using Duolingo, please alongside use YouTube videos as well. Do not stick to only one platform. Second, which is KoreanGG, it's similar to Duolingo, but it shows you picture representation of the words, how to write it if you want to practice writing, or if you want to learn certain words or something like that. KoreanGG is a not, like, I would not tell you like, oh, you need this app, but then it is way better to have it if you want a visual representation of things. Okay, third is your Teuida. Teuida is an application which involves a lot of verbal communication, but this app is for after you learn how to basically form sentences. Okay, so this application shows one-on-one conversations, and it helps you in a better pronunciation manner. It will build your pronunciation and the way you communicate to people in Korean. So this is a very helpful app if you want to start communicating in Korean, or you want to improve your pronunciation wise. It gives you a visual representation of you sitting in a class talking to people, and it's a very one-on-one application, I feel. And yeah, it's a very good application, but it is not for the starters, it is for the later on purposes. Okay, so now one more thing I want to add, if you want to learn Korean, is that it is not necessary for you to start with one application, because Korean is a very difficult language to learn. For example, if you have studied Hindi, for example, you can relate to Korean more. Okay, so as we have O, A, E, and K, K, G, G, like consonants and vowels. For example, K and A ki matra, we combine it to form a syllable. Similarly, Korean is somewhat similar in that process, like oo, oo, e. There are similar matras you can say in Korean as well. So if you know and if you have studied Hindi, you would probably find Korean an easy subject to learn, an easy language to learn, basically, because it has the similar concept to consonants and vowels and matras and etc. And if you want to translate, I suggest do not use Google, because sometimes Google translates it very randomly and it's not correct at all. If you want to translate into Korean, or you want to know certain words in Korean, please use an application known as Papago, Papago. Okay, this app will translate anything into Korean, and it is very, very, very helpful. I have been learning Korean since past 6 months, and whenever I need some translation, I usually use this application. Okay, so if you want to learn Korean, then these are the 3 apps you should be using. It is very easy to use, no money involved, it's completely free of charges, all 3 applications. And please use YouTube videos as well for studying, and I would highly suggest you to write it down, make notes. I know your college, your school stuffs are more than enough, assignments and all, but if you want to truly learn a language, you need to make notes, or else you will forget everything. Okay, as I said this in a previous video as well, please do make notes. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video and learned something new from me. So please make sure to like, share and subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so that you get notified each time I post a new video on YouTube. Thank you so much, guys. Bye. Love you. Bora hai. I purple you. It's been a long time since I saw you guys, and I'm really happy. So I'll be consistent now, I promise. Bye.